Hey guys, welcome to episode 4. And here in this episode, we're going to solve the scenario 4 in Apex trigger in Salesforce. In couple of the previous scenarios, we solved the Apex triggers, some small, simple solutions. This solution will be a little bit complicated than other solutions. Let's start. So we are writing a trigger here to convert the lead status, leads upon inserting or updating the lead where lead status is hard. So if the lead status, which is newly inserted lead record or the updated lead records status turns out into the hard, then that should be converted to account and the opportunity record. So before jumping to the writing trigger, we need to take care of these three things. Those are things to remember, like first one, trigger the type. The trigger type in this case is after trigger, and the trigger context is after insert and after update. I mean, trigger context specifies in what situation trigger should fire. It's after trigger, but upon deleting, no. Upon inserting or updating the trigger. And the third thing is really important, that is object. Our object is lead. So upon happening these things in lead object, the trigger should fire. So let's go to the trigger. Let's go to the developer console and write the trigger. Navigation, we already know that. I've already given the navigation in the first video. So without delaying, let's start writing the trigger. So new, hit Apex trigger. Let's write scenario 4 and lead. Hit submit. Okay, let's just make a few small changes on that. I don't know if I have done that. 4 S1 and write this trigger. Okay, so our trigger name is trigger scenario 4. That's 1. And it is firing on lead object, and the trigger context is the types of trigger is not the before trigger, it is after trigger. So we specify that this trigger is after trigger, after insert, or after update. In any situation, it should fire. So let me specify the trigger context variable. Trigger dot is should be if condition. Trigger dot is insert, or if the trigger is update and that trigger is after trigger, then only this trigger should fire. Okay, so for now, what I'm going to do is since this conversion process is going to take place in 3 objects like account, opportunity, and lead. So I'm going to create the collection variable for each of this object. First one is account, list account, or let's say ACC list. Let's make it simple and easy. New list of and list of opportunity. Say opportunity list, new list of, and let's list out the lead. LD list of records. So now we have 3 different collection variables for each of these objects. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run a loop and bring all the lists of new lead record. For that, I need to write trigger.new, which picks all the recently created or updated list records. Now, the condition is, it's very simple, lead list. In this list, if the rating scale is hot, then this trigger should fire. What it should do, after, if in case the rating scale of the newly updated list of lead record is hot, then it should convert those records into the account and the opportunity records. So for that, let me create the opportunity object here, account, and for account records, let's say I'm going to fill account name with the lead list dot company information. The company name should be reflected as account name in account section. Account dot phone equals to lead list dot phone, and that's it. Let's not add more stops here. Let me add this instance to the collection variable cc. This is it for account, for opportunity, new opportunity. Now what I'm going to do is opportunity instance dot name is, let's say, let me pick both of this name. First name and the last name. Opportunity dot stage name, says qualification. Opportunity dot date, the close date. This is the mandatory field. So while converting or while inserting, updating, or anything, doing anything, make sure that you are not missing any required field. Otherwise, it will throw an error. So the same way, I'm going to add the list opportunity instance into the opportunities correction variable. List.add. Why it's not giving the option? Okay, all right. Make sure that we're not making mistake anywhere. Opportunity list name is where you're using correct name. OPP instance, that is correct one. And let's go and create for lead. The lead trigger, lead.status, closed converted, lead.last name equals to last name. Let's just provide those names. First name, first name for the first name, and the lead the company, provide the company name. It's pretty easy. Now add the lead instance also to the lead collection variable. The list dot add the. Now what you're going to do is, let's just go and insert all this list. Insert count list, insert opportunity list, insert and the list. So we're inserting all the list of records here, opportunity list and the lead list, and hit save. Now we're done with the trigger. Let's just go and test it. In the lead, let me create a new record. Let me try to insert a new record. Semester, trigger testing. Let's say 2022. And let's give 111. 34. Trigger 2022. Just a random name. Rating scale, let's say heart. Let's not do anything. Let's just write working contacted. Hit save. Okay. Now go to details and see if we have the account name here. Okay. The name is Trigger Testing 2022. Let's go to account. And search for the record. See, Trigger Testing 2022, it has been converted. So there must be one account record that you can also see that. Write down this trigger and try to check that. You can definitely find that. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you.